comprehensive plan, removing understudy on the city farm property, and identifying park as a land use designation to City Council for approval. But the agenda item announcing the resolution shows the city manager, quote, concurring with the City Advisory Committee recommendation to maintain the designation of the city farm property as understudy, unquote. How many times have we, as the citizens of Newport News, been told that our voice matters, and that with regard to the city farm, we have to let the process play out? And now the process has been diverted away from the people's voices, back to some designation that was not recommended by any of the people's committees.
Right.
I was in the last few meetings of the advisory committee, and no vote was taken on the understudy designation, although there was much opposition to that term. In addition, the advisory committee members that I know also do not know of a vote endorsing this designation. So to say that the body of citizens recommended understudy to continue as a designation is disingenuous or misinformed. The citizens who spoke in front of the planning commission once had to wait 3 hours while other business was being heard before they were able to speak. Some of us attended all 3 planning commission hearings, and in fact, whether associated with our group or not, the only people who showed up at those public hearings were people in support of keeping City Farm as park and taking off the understudy designation. This designation is inconsistent with the multiple other statements in the plan that we don't have enough green space in Newport News already, nor enough water access. It is also inconsistent to say that citizens have been involved in the process when their consistent input has been sidetracked. In the Planning Commission hearing, it was brought out that as long as the understudy designation is on the city farm property, the Parks and Rec Department cannot move forward with any significant planning for the area. This is an important point. We as a city cannot move forward on the plan to make a public park while this designation is blocking us. Let's fix that so Parks and Rec can do their jobs. There is also confusion even among city employees about this understudy designation. Many believe that to be the zoning, even though the Planning Commission has repeatedly said that the zoning is park, while the land use is understudy. I heard it again from a city employee this morning. I know we have some young people here supporting City Farm as park only. I want to point out that students of Minchville High School spoke to you en masse about this issue. 75 of them, in fact, who wrote you letters. I'm going to put this into the public record again for your reading pleasure. Dave, you might not have had a chance to read these yet. In summary, if our voice matters, I'm sorry, can I just do my summary sentence?
We're going to be pretty strict tonight. We have a lot of cars.
Let's clear up the confusion. Let's listen to the massive input. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Willis. I live at 23 Wicksport, Newport News, Virginia 23606. I'm a member of the Comprehensive Plan Citizens Advisory Committee. I'm a member of the Newport News Planning Commission. I'm not a member of the Citizens for Riverview Farm Park. I'm here today as a citizen of Newport News with an opinion that has been formed through my experience in the process and over the past few months as the comprehensive plan was presented to the public. When I read in the Daily Press that Cynthia Rolfe was going to recommend that the comprehensive plan presented by the Planning Commission be accepted after changing the park designation where the city farm was located to back to understudy because the CPAC recommended it that way, I was concerned. I would say that I went to 90% of the meetings of the CPAC and repeatedly heard members at almost every meeting who advised that the words understudy should be changed back to park, which was the designation on the comprehensive plan up until the last plan the City Council adopted. There was never a consensus among the members of what to call this area, and I'd ask you to look up the definition of consensus so you know what I mean. Someone recently stated that they believed the CPAC voted to keep the words understudy. It was a very close vote, I heard. But I could not find this morning mention of this vote by the advisory committee anywhere in its minutes that are posted online. If we voted on this, we were still acting as an advisory committee to the Planning Commission, which would be the ones who had the final say in the document presented to City Council after allowing for the necessary public input from the actual public. Looking back, I reviewed my role as a CPAC member. Early in December 12, 2013, Sheila McAllister stated that we actually represent the public, but the public will not be formally involved until the draft is completed and presented. In May 2018, the Planning Commission was finally able to present the completed comprehensive plan and meet with citizens, many residents and employees from all over the city, as well as CNU students, teachers, people both young and old, presented a case for their concern that the words understudy would not protect the area that has always been zoned park. The comprehensive plan does not define what understudy means, who does the study, and what designation would go there after the study. At this point, my own concern was, is understudy even a correct, appropriate, or legal description of a land use? I could not find it on the American Planning Association website, and I refer now back to the minutes of the CPAC of January 9, 2014, in which Mr. Tambori addressed the committee and gave examples of the future land use designations that were available, which are natural area open space, parks and recreation, residential, mixed use, commercial, office, community facilities, research and development, industrial, utilities, transportation, and finally, government/military. No understudy was available as a land use, and rightfully so. What land use is called understudy? I feel that the community, the public, the residents, and citizens of Newport News have come together to stress the importance of a document that will lead the city's land use into the future. I believe the City Council would be doing a disservice to all their constituents and the members of the community if they use terminology, for whatever reason, on a land use document that is not a use of land. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Price, Vice Mayor Vick, and the other members of City Council, and everybody who came out tonight. Okay, my name is Dale Good, and I live at 174 Lanita Lane in Newport News. A main point of contention with the draft One City, One Future comprehensive plan stemmed from the former city farm land use designation of understudy, coupled with the statement that, and I quote, interest has also been expressed in developing the former correctional facility into something other than park, e.g. residential or mixed use. The members and supporters of Citizens for Riverview Farm Park request that you follow the recommendation of the Newport News Planning Commission and accept the comprehensive plan with the city farm land use designated park. Something to consider is that over 6,000 Newport News citizens have signed our petition to save the park from residential development. This is significant since that's more people than votes received by any city council candidate in the May city elections earlier this year, except for Mayor Price, who got about 9,400. Okay, it's a shame that we don't have the process to let the citizens of Newport News vote to decide the park's disposition. While I don't have other specific numbers, I think it is clear that, at least from my perspective, the large majority of residents want to keep Riverview Farm Park's land use designation as park. Additionally, the park land use designation does not have to be understudied to allow for the archaeological dig to be completed, as indicated in the city manager's recommendation to City Council. This line of thought is hardly logical. The dig has started and will be completed regardless of the land use designation. Okay, some members on council have spoken of the need to complete a process in determining the disposition of the former city farm land. Citizens for Riverview Farm Park want to see a process also, just not one that includes the possibilities of land use other than park. So why not go back to the original process mentioned in the One City, One Future comprehensive plan that was working until the plug was pulled on it? Why not accept the comprehensive plan as recommended by the Planning Commission, reestablish the previously disbanded Park Task Force to work with Parks and Recreation Department and the community at large to decide on the amenities desired at the park, This was the original process until a former mayor disbanded the task force and cut funding to near nothing. No wonder only 1/3 of the plan of the park has been implemented. Why do we need to spend taxpayer dollars to an outside source to determine what would be best for the people and the park? Isn't our Parks and Recreation Department fully capable of handling this with the citizens of Newport News? Finally here, to pave over and build on this land for the benefit of a few, which the understudy designation in the draft comprehensive plan is really about, would be a severe setback to enhancing our city to attract and keep new visitors and residents. The disposition of the city farm land rests in your hands.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Darlene Matrano. I reside at 457 Dunmore Drive. I represent the citizens for Riverview Farm Park, as well as I'm a faculty member at Christopher Newport University. I've met some of you through the course of the past year during the elections, etc. And almost all of that you have talked to you in person have all said, you're here for the people. That's why you're running, is for the people. The people took action, as you guys said, be part of the process. We listened, we became be part of the process. We went to the Planning Commission meetings and to have our voices heard. The Planning Commission adopted 8-0 unanimously to adopt City Farm to have a Parks and Recreation designation. I therefore ask you again to reject Cindy Rolfe's resolution to put it back under study. As I recently got promoted at CNU, I'm trying to now look for permanent housing. I've been renting for the past 6 years. Even though I am a tenured faculty member at Christopher Newport University, luxury housing is way out of my budget. I want to stay in Newport News. I want to have a family in Newport News. Faculty are leaving Newport News because of the less amenities, that there's no parks, that there's just not a lot of free space for people to be at. I want to stay in Newport News. I want to commute. I want to be able to visit Riverview Farm Park and not see condos in the distance or luxury houses that I can dream about not having. I want to be part of the community. Listen to your people. Your people have spoken. We have voted you to where you are today right now. Listen to your planning commission. Why have a planning commission if you didn't want to listen to it? Please to listen to your community of citizens for Riverview Farm Park and for leaders who are guiding our next generation at Christopher Newport University to appreciate local government, that they can make a difference. And they will see this and hear about this in the next weeks to come as they come back to campus in the next 2 weeks. So again, I urge you to reject the resolution put forth by City Manager Cindy Rolfe. Thank you.